Welcome back to Mastering AWS Step Function. In the previous lesson we created a state machine and we are now ready to start an execution. In this lesson we will learn in 4 sections. The first section is how to start an execution, then we will give an execution name and we will view the execution details, and finally we will view the result of an execution. Before starting, let's understand what an execution is and check the state machines that we already created. So the state machines executions are instances where you run your workflow to perform tasks. Now we understand what an execution is. Let's open the state machines that we have created in Step Functions. If we open Step Functions and then under State Machine, we can see the Hello World state machine listed here under State, as we see in the red rectangle in this screenshot. So click on it to open, and on the Hello World page we can choose Start Execution in the red rectangle button here, and on the new execution page that pops up, in the name field you can enter a name of your choice, or you can leave the default execution ID that was created for you. We need to make sure that the execution name or ID doesn't contain any non-ASCII characters. If we do not specify the own ID of the execution, then Step Functions would generate a unique execution ID for us. After we are done, let's click on Start Execution in the rectangle under label number 2. So after you choose Start Execution, the Step Functions console directs you to a page that's titled with your execution ID or name. That is label number 1 in the screenshot. On this page, you can review the results of your new execution. Under Details tab, marked as label 2 in this screenshot, you can see your execution ARN, and then next to label 3 you can see a status to indicate whether your execution succeeded. That is next to label number 4. And you can also see the timestamp for when your execution started and when the execution ended, next to or under label number 5. So navigate around the execution details and check the execution output from the Input and Output tab. That is label number 1. And you can also export the result into a detailed JSON file by clicking on the Export button. You can find this button above label number 2 inside the rectangle, the red rectangle. So in this lesson we have run an execution for the Hello World state machine, and we learned how to start an execution and give that execution a name. Then we learned and examined the execution details and exported the result into a JSON file. Now join me at the next lesson to learn how to update the Hello World state machine.